Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all having a great day and that you're all doing well. Welcome back to another weekend edition, if you will, where I try to talk a tiny bit slower as to not stumble over my words. But I'm pretty sure it's going to happen because it seems impossible for me not to do so. The first thing that we have today is the question among XRP enthusiasts is why a majority of Ripple's partners are using its Xcurrent product and not its Xrapid product. There are but a handful of financial institutions using Xrapid, with most running test pilots of the technology, but this is also due to the product still being in beta and not having moved to production yet. Moreover, Xcurrent still relies on the system of banking that Ripple aims to make obsolete. Currently, over 100 banks use Xcurrent to allow for a more consistent and frictionless experience on top of the correspondent banking system. This is a system wherein financial institutions lock up capital and overseas accounts known as nostro accounts to provide liquidity for cross-border transactions. This allows for the receiving party to receive the money from the liquidity pool offered by the nostro accounts. This is inefficient in its current form as it forces institutions to maintain multiple accounts worldwide to provide liquidity. Moreover, the existing network of the system, known as the Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunications, or SWIFT, is prone to error and has been the infiltration point for many hacking attempts. Over the last couple of weeks, I don't know if you realized, there have been a couple of moments where we had news. I think it happened 2 or 3 times over the last, I want to say actually 3 months, with reports that we know about have happened with SWIFT, where they have been hacked or people have tried to do something. And I think there were also portions of things happening with Visa and MasterCard where their systems were being shut down. But SWIFT has a lot of issues. There's a lot of error, a lot of rejection for things like that. The main part is for those who maybe didn't get it because a lot of the terms are kind of out there. What ends up happening is, let's say I want to send money from, let's say, Paris to a country somewhere in Africa, but there's not a lot of banking and stuff going on there, and there's not a lot of liquidity for, that is to say, there's not a lot of movement in their currency that they have in that country. What ends up needing to happen is that I have to send the money from Paris, or rather, if you're sending it through a bank, they send the money from Paris to another country that has that third countries where I'm trying to send in Africa, where they have their currency in more or less liquid form or something that's quicker moving. The banking system that we have right now has to go through multiple, sometimes 4 or 5 channels just to get to one other place. And this is why it ends up taking 4, 5, 6, 7 business days sometimes to get money to another part, because it's all a messaging system. You send it here, they have to confirm that they have it. The other place sends it there, they have to confirm that they have it. Then it gets sent to another place and they have to confirm that they have it. And you have to have these preloaded accounts of money from that currency and that country in order to be able to send the money back and forth. And this is why cryptocurrencies are this magical thing, because it kind of gets us away from that system, which is kind of weird because you would have assumed somewhere along the way somebody would have thought of doing this. But I think the people behind SWIFT got incredibly comfortable with how their system has been since the 70s. Has not improved at all. I guess in the 70s it was something special when, you know, you could send money in 4 or 5 days as opposed to maybe 2 months. I don't know what things were like back in the 70s. I wasn't born then. Xcurrent directly replaces SWIFT and is faster and more accurate as reported by the financial institutions that utilize it. However, Ripple's vision for the future of cross-border payments does not involve the continued use of existing systems. The liquidity required for cross-border transactions will be sourced from using XRP as a bridge currency. This will allow banks on Ripple's network to send and receive money across borders in minutes compared to the 2 to 3 days it takes currently. Pilot results have shown the financial institutions gain 40 to 70% savings when using Xrapid for their systems. Therein lies the question: how will Ripple, the company, move clients from Xcurrent to Xrapid? This is one of the major, for those who haven't been around for a very long time, Ripple and XRP, over the last couple of months, the sentiment has kind of changed. I think people are getting it, exactly what they're doing. A lot of people in the community do not care for Ripple and or XRP for some odd reason. And after years of them trying to find some type of way to talk down about the project and talk about this, and this isn't going to work, and no one's going to use this, and this is never going to be activated, and this person is so-and-so, and this person does this, and this... the main argument that they have now is that a lot of institutions are using Xcurrent instead of using Xrapid. Jim Chauncey Kelly, the director of talent acquisition at Ripple, seems to provide clarity on the matter. On August 9th, Kelly spoke to Interview Now, a text message interviewing tool that helps recruiters. In the statement, he said, and I do quote, "Earlier in the year, a big part of what my team was focused on was hiring a lot of engineering. This was probably our biggest push because we are building a software called Convergence that syncs together all of our 3 major products into one seamless platform," end quote. He further illustrated this point with an example stating, and I quote again, "For example, if American Express, one of our clients, wants to send $500 to a bank in Thailand, there's an immediate quote of what the exchange is and the money goes through. This is something that brings together all of our products to further enhance RippleNet, which is very exciting," end quote. The article was then deleted with the last cached version saved on the 16th of August. There was also a tweet by Kelly posted on the 17th of August, which was also deleted after a short amount of time. Reportedly, the tweet said, "Hi, for clarity, we have 3 products, Xcurrent in production, and 2 more on the way, Xvia and Xrapid. They will be on a Convergence release soon. There isn't a software actually called Convergence." I'm going to try and explain a little bit of that in a couple of seconds. Many took this to mean that another product does not exist, or as it was outrightly denied by the same person who made the announcement. Ripple, for some reason, I don't know if they're teasing people or if they are just really prone to giving away the gold before they actually plan on doing so. There was something about a month and a half ago where there was Ripple has their thing on their own YouTube channel where they talk about new products, and they have like many interviews and stuff like that. And someone found an upload online that pretty much stated that one of the people who was talking in the interview gave away some type of information. I think that they were working with Santander. I think that was the bank that they said they were working with. People figured this out. The news spread like wildfire. And then when the video was actually, I think, re-uploaded or edited and then uploaded onto their YouTube channel, that part of them saying the word Santander was completely cut out. And it was kind of obvious if you saw the original one, where pretty much it looked like a weird gap in editing. Like there was just a kind of like a huge cut. So Ripple's kind of known for, I don't know if they're just really excited about what's going on with their products. But I think, is it the beans have been spilled or something's been spilled? Something is on the floor right now. Ripple keeps giving away what they're doing. I think they're just very excited about all the partners that they've been signing up and all the things that they plan on doing. Not even in the technical sense, I couldn't begin to tell you the technical sense. If you search for information, as I always say, do your own research. Xcurrent, there's actually a way to even use XRP on Xcurrent, so that's not even a real problem at all. Like it's actually, I think, like the flick of a switch or something like that. But there's been speculation for quite some time as the focus for a lot of people has been and is at the moment XRP, that they were developing something or that something was coming. I think this also had to do with Spring, XPRING. I think that was Ripple has so many products that they're throwing out there and stuff like that, but I think a majority of them already have some type of way to already actively integrate XRP. So this was one of the arguments, was that if everyone's using Xcurrent, why would they need to use XRP, or that they're not going to use XRP? It's all completely possible, and it appears that something is also in the works, maybe not, that will allow all 3 to work simultaneously together. It does kind of make a lot of sense. I don't see why this wouldn't technologically be possible. One of the things that also, if you look at some of Ripple's earlier conferences and meetings that they had in 2015, 2016, at these like major events where they talk, for some reason Ripple keeps letting things loose. I think they announced or said that they were actually trying to, or the purpose was to actually get banks and institutions to use Xcurrent first, and then to pretty much just switch them over to Xrapid, as there was literally nothing that had to be changed in the entire thing. I think it was just, instead of I think one thing happening, it would just be sent through XRP, and because the transactions that go through XRP get settled in around, I think, 2 to 3 seconds or something like that, there's no risk of volatility when it comes to sending the money back and forth. I think people were also asking that in the comment section before. I think 18 people asked it one time, and I'm sorry I didn't feel like responding back to multiple comments at once with the same exact answer. I could have just copied and pasted it. I don't know why I did that. But anyway, the point is, so there is no real risk of fluctuation in price with Xrapid if XRP, if people are using Xrapid and or Xcurrent, if they decide to use XRP, they're sending it back and forth between the institutions. This is also why you may have noticed there's been an incredible push the last couple of weeks, and these are just the things that we know about of Ripple and XRP being listed as base pairs and stuff like that, because one of the things that has to happen in order for this to go off without a hitch is for XRP to be listed as a base pair or to be listed on multiple new exchanges to increase the liquidity that is going through the coin. And at this point, mathematically, if you kind of look at it, just even from Bittrex and SBI, and not even the other, I think 11 exchanges who have announced that they're either going to be adding XRP or going to be using it as a base pair, just Bittrex and SBI alone, Ripple's daily volume will be in the multiple billions, and that is going to be I think one of the most interesting moments in the entire world when it actually does end up happening. Next up, this one is have my own feelings about this. Cryptocurrency trading revenue is primed to explode within the near future, and Wall Street is running out of time if it hopes to stop industry giant Coinbase from gaining an indomitable market position. Writing in a new report titled "Crypto Trading, the Next Big Thing is Here?" Analysts at market research firm Sanford C. Bernstein & Co. forecast that cryptocurrency trading revenue, the fees that exchange charge for each trade, could soar to $4 billion in 2018, despite the fact that gross trading volume has declined in recent months, along with cryptocurrency prices. I want to say it's Stein, but I think Americans pronounce it Steen. Bernstein research was first reported by Bloomberg. If trading revenue does hit $4 billion, it will represent an increase of more than 120% from 2017. The firm estimates that exchanges brought in a combined $1.8 billion in trading fees last year, which works out to about 8% of the fees generated on traditional stock exchanges. All of this, Bernstein analysts led by Christian Bolu wrote, presents Wall Street with a tremendous opportunity to profit from a rapidly maturing asset class. They said, as the crypto asset class seasons and institutional demand builds, there are a plethora of opportunities for traditional firms. The analyst wrote, ranging from the marking to regulated custody of crypto assets. Indeed, industry observers regularly point to the dearth of, I think that's supposed to be death of regulated custodians as one reason that more institutional investors have not taken a more active interest in crypto assets. I told you guys a couple of weeks ago, first of all, I wish Binance had fiat pairings for about 10 different countries. That'd be great. I definitely prefer Binance over Coinbase. Coinbase isn't, they're not horrible. It just takes them a long time to kind of do stuff. A lot of people have been complaining about contacting them and they're not being contacted back. The issue is that I told you guys before, and I don't think it's just Wall Street. And this is why I think there's been such a major push and they're trying to get everything out either in October or November. There's an immense amount of money to be made if you have a crypto exchange. And the problem is what's going to end up happening probably by 2019, if they haven't gotten their stuff together, is that Coinbase, Binance, Bittrex, and about 5 other places are going to control the market. I told you guys before, I didn't think we'd have much longer with the websites and institutions that we have right now being the dominant forces in the market. But the entire thing that's happening with the SEC and the CFTC and them taking all their time and trying to figure out exactly what is this and what is not this, and Wall Street not getting in because they don't have this regulation on paper. I don't know exactly what the weight is. This is why I think the New York Stock Exchange thing is very significant, because they're like, okay, we really can't wait anymore. Wall Street is, I think, going to try and tumble into the market around 2019, but they're probably going to be using a lot of I want to say dirty tactics in order to get people to stop using the things that we have now to try and go to their platforms, because they want all the money. I told you guys when the owner of Binance announced sometime after 6 months after Binance was open that they had made, it was like billions in profit or something like that. How much was it? I can't remember. It was like, I remember the number. It was a lot. It was a lot of money. And then he came out on like a press statement and he said that him and the other people who were working on the project, they all became millionaires, multi-millionaires overnight and stuff like that. That sets off a lot of alarms when it comes to Wall Street. I don't know if they'll be able to get it together this year. But as of now, I can't remember what the article was. It was something about Coinbase and how big they're getting. And I think they're still signing up 50,000 people per day or this is what they claimed in 2017, and apparently it's still going on right now. If they're signing up that many people a day, they're making an immense amount of money, and I think Wall Street is going to try to drag that from under them as quickly as humanly or digitally possible. EOS and Ethereum are in the news today. On the 16th of August, China's governing body, the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology, unveiled a new official cryptocurrency rating index, marking its 4th edition. This month's list was topped by EOS, followed by Ethereum. This was an exact reflection of last month's rankings, 3rd edition, where EOS and Ethereum held the same spot. Bitcoin, the most commonly used cryptocurrency, enjoyed a 7-place rise, jumping from the 17th spot to the 10th spot, which is kind of, and I'll touch on that in a second. These rankings are very weird. The Global Public Chain Technology Assessment was organized and implemented by the CCID Qingdao Blockchain Research Institute. It was jointly carried out by a number of units, including the CCID think tank under the China Electronic Information Industry Development Research Institute and the China Software Testing Center. The purpose is to scientifically assess the development level of global public chain technology and accurately grasp the trend of the cryptocurrency market. The ratings are adjusted based on 3 factors: technology, applicability, and innovation. On the current rankings, EOS held a total of 158 points. Spike up from before. Ethereum had 139. Not going to read through all the numbers. It's not, and it says Bitcoin's fan has something to cheer about this time. What's really weird about Bitcoin, so first of all, there's this rankings and there's also Weiss ratings, and I think they kind of flip-flop like every 2 weeks. They come out one after the other or something like that. A lot of people aren't really happy that EOS is number 1 or Ethereum, but I think it has to do with not funding, but I want to say, like, I think these countries and companies rank based on not just how great the technology is. I feel like they also do it based on like transparency, if that kind of makes a lot of sense. China's governing body would probably not have EOS and Ethereum in the number 1 and 2 spots. If I still believe that whenever this or could possibly happen, who knows, China is an interesting place. Whenever China does allow crypto trading or unbans cryptocurrency, the market is going to lose its mind. That is going to be a major celebration for every single person who's into crypto. But as of now, I don't think they're ranking these things. You don't take the time out of your month and hire other people and have ministries and have other people who are also into it for no apparent reason. Like there's definitely some monetary reason behind this. I'm not sure why Bitcoin is ranking so low. Okay, realistically, don't hate me. We know that Bitcoin's tech isn't really there anymore, which is actually kind of weird. A lot of people don't know, and I'm going to inform you, Bitcoin can actually be upgraded multiple times. The thing is that the people who are working on Bitcoin are more concerned with the product called Liquid and Lightning, so that they can make money off of these sidechain products. Bitcoin can actually be upgraded almost as high as Bitcoin Cash is right now, and this is why we have Bitcoin Cash. So I guess that could be kind of part of the reason. I think Bitcoin could easily possibly be number 1, but the people who are working on the project and building the sidechains, they wouldn't be making any real money then unless they were just mining. The point is, these are the latest China's governing body rankings. I think we had Weiss ratings a couple of weeks ago. I didn't really talk about them. I don't think I may have skimmed over it, but they had also something very similar. For some reason, EOS, Ethereum, and I can't remember the other one that usually ranks number 3. It's like I'm not going to say any coins. I'm not trying to hype up anything, but it's something that you typically don't hear about that are usually in like the top positions. I think XRP is usually like number 8 or 9 or something like that. And a lot of people keep getting upset that Bitcoin isn't number 1. I mean, it moved from 17th to 10, so something happened. I hope they haven't. The people who are behind Weiss ratings, they were getting threats. Like, I understand. Like I told you guys before, it's just if you are here to make money. Don't get too emotional. Don't get too flustered because a computer protocol that you didn't create, that you own a portion of, isn't number 1. I mean, I don't get upset when XRP is a number one. I don't get upset when I own a tiny bit of Bitcoin. I'm not a flustered and out there. Anyway, the point is, I'm rambling once again. These are the numbers, and I wonder exactly if these are going to have an influence on the market. Like if people end up, actually, that could be kind of. I'll get back to this in a couple minutes. That actually might be an actual correlation to this. I don't know if people in China are secretly buying and or trading crypto, but there actually could be a bit of a correlation to all of that. Next up, Zcash is in the news. Privacy coin Zcash is gearing up for a major upgrade with the first release of network software compatible with its upcoming sapling hard fork. Zcash version 2.0.0 was released on Thursday, according to a blog post penned by Sean Bowe, an engineer with the Zero Coin electronic coin company, which develops the Zcash cryptocurrency. The company is encouraging all users and miners to upgrade to the new version as soon as possible. The hard fork itself is expected to occur on the 28th of October, with the first sapling block will be mined at block 419,000. Prior to the live launch, sapling will run on a test network, because it has to, from block 280,000, an event Bowe said should occur sometime next Thursday. He wrote sapling has previously acted on testnet, but because changes were made to the consensus rules, your node will automatically roll back and proceed on the overwinter testnet branch until sapling activates again at the new height. The version 2 software upgrade includes experimental support for remote procedure calls, which code can execute on a remote computer as if it was called locally, although full support will not be available until the 2.0.1 release. It also fixes a bug which slowed some nodes syncing to the network when banning peers. The function was introduced to mitigate against a class of denial service attack from Sprout nodes. Bowe wrote, the new software instead just ignores invalid transactions. The sapling upgrade is intended to significantly reduce the storage requirements for private transactions and update the block's ZK snarks cryptography to make it more secure, as previously reported by Coinbase. Okay, so this is the Zcash news for today, what have you. The next upgrade is coming up typically whenever we have some type of an upgrade, some type of a new version of a coin coming out, especially one that's as popular as this one. The price tends to reflect it, but I guess until, October 28th, may not be any major moves for the coin, but I think they're going to or have already been listed on Gemini. I'm going to assume other exchanges are probably also going to be doing it as well, because apparently on Zcash you can like shield your transactions, or you can turn the shield off, so you can either have private or not private transactions. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a major demand for Zcash on Gemini or any other exchange that's going to list it, especially ones in the US, that Coinbase would then probably come out of the woodworks and say that they've been planning on listing this for quite some time. They just haven't gotten around to it. But I wouldn't be surprised. But anyway, this is the Zcash privacy coin altcoin news for the day. Last up, we have news that Everpedia is finally live. Wikipedia's rival is now live, and it's already boasting 6 million. These typos are crazy. It's already boasting 6 million articles, more than Wikipedia, which has been around for 17 years. Has it been that long, my lord? This, however, is no surprise, given the project also boasts of Larry Sanger, one of the two founders of Wikipedia, as the chief information officer of the project. Look at that. Everpedia has become the first decentralized internet encyclopedia based on blockchain technology and the biggest competitor to the dominant Wikipedia. The site is expected to be information uncensored and out of control from any central power. I'm going to get back to that try and get back to it in a couple of seconds if I can remember. You guys know my memory is not what it used to be, and I'm not even old. That's a problem. According to the Everpedia team, the site is set to be free from ads and promotions. But most admirable characteristics is that it is decentralized and hence made for truth seekers. The project allows for people to share information even in censored regions and countries. That is incredibly important. One of the main, I listened to a couple of podcasts when they were talking about Everpedia. I think it was the podcast called ICO Alert. If you scroll down, you can find their older episodes. I think there was one where they were just talking about Everpedia. This is going to be very helpful in the future. There are a lot of countries that censor everything, anything that they don't want you to watch or listen to or see or read or find, they censor it. But as this is not controlled by any central authority, the idea is that I'm sure there are already people out there trying it as well or doing it. They're going to try and get information about the outside world. I know it sounds kind of crazy, even if we live in 2018. We are very lucky. Even if you're listening to me, there are a lot of countries that do not allow YouTube or Instagram or Twitter or Snapchat, all these things. And the idea is to create articles that help people learn about what's happening in the outside world so they get a better idea of how messed up their country is, if that kind of makes any sense to you. I guess this also has to do with the information uncensored as well. It's a very ambitious project that they have, and I'm very happy that this is what we need blockchain and crypto for. I don't think while collecting cats and dogs and Pokemon on Ethereum is absolutely wonderful, I love that things like this are helping other people to not only learn, but one of the other main things about Everpedia as well is that you can create your own page, which is something that typically not frowned upon on Wikipedia, but it doesn't really work that well. There are a lot of famous people and celebrities and other people who are historians and stuff like that, where they go to try and write pages about really famous and or influential people, and they find out that the page has been deleted directly by Wikipedia, or as other people can I think edit it and stuff like that as well, that a lot of people are completely changing it and doing whatever people do because people have too much time on their hands. Theodore Fossilius, co-founder and CEO of the organization, said Wikipedia is largely older white men. I should have read this before. We've tried to focus on getting a lot of female edits, young editors, and diverse backgrounds and ethnicities, end quote. Unlike Wikipedia, where contributors and editors contribute for free, Everpedia has introduced an incentive that will encourage people to work for it or with it. Everpedia plans to reward participants using IQ tokens which will entitle the holder to governance and voting rights of the organization, essentially becoming a stakeholder. Being a decentralized site also means that there is no central server and no centralized power. As the CEO notes, the project's existence is not tied up to certain people. If everyone on the team got abducted tomorrow, the site would keep running. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, Everpedia is running on the EOS blockchain. This is one of their things that they've been talking about for quite some time. If you had EOS before, you probably should have, wherever you had it saved, should have received a number of Everipedia tokens. I think a lot of people, I think you got them as well if you were using Binance, if I'm not mistaken. Binance said that they wouldn't, or that they weren't able to do every single airdrop that was going to happen. This also ties into some news that we had a couple of weeks ago or something like that, where people were saying that the people behind Binance charged projects 400 Bitcoin in order to be added to their website. Binance said that they denied this. This is, we don't do this. And someone else said that they only, I think people were angry and they were saying that Binance only adds SHIT coins as they didn't add my coin, and therefore they are a horrible platform. Point is, anyway, this is continuing on. This is kind of what their pages look like. It looks a little different than Wikipedia. It has a lot of information all over it. I'm not exactly sure if you can see who has been editing these or who has been working on what, but they have like a search feature up here. I think I use it for maybe like 2 or 3 minutes just kind of to see what it would really look like. Because when you go to the main page, it kind of looks like you're signing up for a cryptocurrency exchange. Let me see if I can show you guys. It's just very like informative and stuff like that, where they kind of like sell their product to you. This is not an endorsement. I'm sad that I have to keep saying that over and over, because when I don't say that something isn't an endorsement, or that I don't am not getting paid from someone or some entity, people keep saying that I'm lying or something like that. I don't. I get requests and emails from at least 35 ICOs a day, and that's not me making up a number. And I don't answer them. There's a reason why I don't sell things on this channel. It's draining for me, and I'm not trying to sell like false items and stuff like that. This is why I always say, any information that I give you, the internet is out there. You all have the internet. You're listening to me on the internet. do your own research. If Everpedia entices you in some sort of way, or I read this woman was saying that she likes Everpedia because it'll be a place where she could actually put her entire family tree. Because realistically, other people, are probably not going to care about her family or her family tree or her ancestors, but she's actually making pages for her entire family. So she said, hopefully, if this sticks around in 3, 4, 5 generations, anyone should have questions about her family or where they've been, what they've done, it'll all be on this blockchain, on this platform for them to be able to see and learn more about their family. I'm pretty sure it's free to sign up. And you also, if you are editing things, I believe you also get a free Everpedia tokens. Yeah. The market's still up, which is great to see. Big Daddy over here started tumbling last night. I don't know if you guys realized. What happened is that XRP started shooting up for the 3 Xrapid partner news that we had. And then I think this is also what's happening is I think people are finally understanding what's going to happen with XRP. And also that Bittrex is launching their XRP USD pairs, fiat pairings on Monday, as in like this Monday, not next Monday. So this is also probably the reason for the price. When I was talking about what was going on with EOS earlier, and I was saying that they ranked it number 1, I don't know. It seems a little too much good timing that this came out, and also the price of EOS shot up. So I assume a lot of people were reading the ratings. I guess a lot of people are reading these ratings to find out how great their investments are. And then lo and behold, the price of EOS shot up. There was also another coin that went up as well. I don't remember it. A lot of people were down talking Ethereum Classic. There were articles talking about this is the first time ever, not that there's been a lot of them, in Coinbase history that they've listed a coin and the price is actually not shot up by like 30%, that the price was actually going down for quite a little bit, but the rest of the market started going up. And therefore, the price of Ethereum Classic, because it was red it was like 0.34% in the red, but it still was going down. I think not a lot of other coins are really shooting up. I think another one shot up by somewhere around 30%. Probably has gone down by quite some bit. I'm incredibly suspicious. I don't think it's random that XRP starts going up, EOS starts going up. There was another coin that also went up. Yeah, Monero went up as well. And then Ethereum started picking up as well. Ethereum was up like 6% or something like that over the 24-hour period. And then for some reason, Bitcoin starts going down, and then the rest of the market starts dragging back down. Okay, whatever. We're going to get to a point by the end of this year where a lot of coins are going to start decoupling. Don't assume that only XRP or the Ripple team is working on having their coin decoupled from the Bitcoin and Ethereum price. This is why this is so significant that XRP is going to be a base currency relatively soon. I think a lot of other projects, they were stating before in other articles, these were weeks and weeks ago, they were saying how frustrating it is to work for 19 months on a project and to have your project lose value or go up in value simply because of this number 1 coin. The market can't continue like this for much longer. I know it may seem like fun for a lot of you, or you are able to predict what's happening with prices and when this price is going to go where. If you see Bitcoin going down, there's clearly going to be a downtrend. This is where this little dip is right here for the rest of the coins. But in order to have a functioning and strong crypto market, this will not last forever. Nobody wants in the year 2025 to have their other coins go down even by 1 or 2% because Bitcoin has had a bad day. We're going to get to a point, and it's going to happen for a couple of coins by the end of this year, but by the time we hit around mid 2020, the crypto market will become so what's the word? Not solid, like built up from infrastructure that's being built in 2018. This is why I keep saying I don't think that Bitcoin is going to be the number 1 coin forever. I know a lot of people don't really care when I say that. I try my hardest, I know I'm a human, to take out all emotion from it, and it's just more about math. Bitcoin needs a Lightning, it needs Liquid, and it needs about 5 other side chains in order to increase its speed and its utility and smart contract platforms in order to be able to do something. But no one is going to want their coin or their investment to be dragged back and forth by Bitcoin. Bitcoin may be the market leader. A lot of people may think it should be the only coin. No one, and I assure you, people are going to get sick of this very, very quick. There's Vitalik has mentioned, a lot of other people have mentioned it before. The people behind XRP, I think Bitcoin Cash have also mentioned it. Charlie Lee is just in love with Bitcoin, so he's not going to say anything negative. The people behind Cardano have also mentioned it. No one wants something that they have worked on for 2 years or are currently working on. You know, it's literally like, imagine if you bought Louis Vuitton stock, and all of a sudden Apple stock started going down, and then you lost tons of money, and it's like, oh well, just another day for Louis Vuitton. No, you would get really upset really fast, and these are all going to become their own entities. They already are their own entities. When these coins won't go below, let's say, $100 billion market cap, they're going to become their own things, and the prices are going to start moving in their own way. And this is why utility is going to be very important in the future. Your coin has to be doing something. It's great that you are gold, or that you are this, or people are putting you in vaults. But unless people are going to be using your platform on a daily basis, or sending money to the other side of the world on a daily basis, or you're going to have thousands and thousands of apps built on top of you, you are probably going to have a hard time. It's just something to think about. This isn't meant to be a doom and gloom at the end of this video. It's just realistically something to think about. I think a lot of people, maybe not everyone listening, but a large number of people tend to think so short term in the market, and they're just happy with Bitcoin swinging the market back and forth. I've gotten upset many times. You've heard me before in other videos, like March, April, May. It's really annoying when one coin controls the entirety of the market. It doesn't make a lot of sense. There isn't one company in the world. There isn't a company in Thailand, when their stock gets devalued, that every other stock in the world also goes down. That's just not how the world works. But we're still in the beginning of the cryptocurrency trend, world, sphere, phase, community. I don't know exactly what you want to call it. But we're going to get to a point pretty soon. I think we're going to be looking at these moments, and I think we're going to have a lot of days where we're going to, wow, VeChain, my lord. We're going to be talking about where, do you remember those days where this and this was controlled by this, or this and this did that? Crypto is already completely different from how it was in the beginning of 2017. It's already completely different, and I think this is only going to continue. Anyway, I'm blabbing on. I hope you guys have all had a great day, morning, afternoon, and or evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I tried to slow down my talking. I really can't do it. I saw thank you for defending me once again, whoever you might be. Someone wrote a comment that they hate how fast that I talk, and they think I need to lay off the sugar or something like that. And somebody was like, it's just the way he is. And I was like, I smiled a tiny bit, because I really can't help it. I think I get so, people don't understand how much I love crypto, how much I love that we have another system that isn't tied to stocks. Like it's its own independent world. I love that we are into it. I love that it's easy to get into. I love seeing green days and red days. I don't mind too much because I just end up buying a bit more. But I really love the entire space. You guys are also awesome. Thank you for listening and or watching. I really do appreciate it. Like it's interesting, the community that we've created. It's interesting where we are in cryptocurrency. Like crypto wasn't like this in 2016. It's like we're building up this entire world where we've gotten into some secret that's not really a secret that everyone else can know about, but they simply just don't want to. They're kind of pushing it to the side, saying that the whole cryptocurrency space it's a sham, it's fake, and so and so and so. But the moment you show that you've made them some money, this is also the reason where they also kind of want to believe. Anyway, once again, thank you. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you all soon. See you.